Well, my webcam came today, so I'm going to see what I can do about posting on YouTube and some of these other places. I'm going by the name weggieboy for purposes of YouTube. Shouldn't be too hard to figure out who I am. If you have any competence at all on the internet. First thing I'd like to do, though, I've enjoyed the audio, or not the audio, the videotapes that a young New Zealander by the name of Tanani has been posting. There was one in particular that was phenomenal, and it's the kind of thing you would expect from a media student. He did a superb job on it. And see if I can get this so you can see it. Slumdog Millionaire. It was the Jai Ho dance number at the end that he did a video on. He did the dancing, he did the editing, and it was so full of fun and a very interesting approach to the whole thing. I thought he was Indian at first, so I got looking on the internet and found out no, he's a New Zealander. And I think his last name maybe is a bit difficult to figure out too. French. And Tanani, I'm not sure about the whole connection. At any rate, this young man lost his grandfather. I think it was on the 6th or 7th, and that's a difficult thing for a young person to deal with. I'm 61 and I've had some serious health issues, so I'm not really too concerned about death. Death is just around the corner for all of us if you look at it. So I try to be a happy person. I am a happy person. In fact, I'm a jolly person. I'm a person who jokes around a lot. A lot of times I get myself into trouble because I reveal an immature side of mine that I don't think I'll ever lose. I've worked for years on it. Now that I'm retired, it doesn't make any damn difference. I'll be as amusing as I am. Probably not today, though. How do you like my screensaver? I don't know if you can see the toad. Oops. Anyway, I'd like Tanani to know that I did say a prayer for the family. I was moved by his video announcing it. His grandfather died. Clearly they had a good relationship. And isn't that what we miss? It isn't, if you're a Christian, you believe that through Christ you will have a place in heaven, but that still doesn't cure the hurt that you feel. And the longer you have that hurt, doesn't seem really to get any easier. You just have a different perspective on it. In your 20s, it's a terrible thing. In your 30s, you're starting to get exposed to death. By your 40s, you feel like, well, I made it to my 40s, so I must be okay. And you get into your 50s. And if you make it through your 50s without cancer or a major disease, you'll probably have a happy old age. But so many people die in their 50s from serious illness. In my case, it was Wegener's Granulomatosis. No, I didn't die, but it was a disease. It is a disease that you have for life, like MS, or, yeah, that's a good example. Basically, you die because this disease sets your immune system in overdrive, and it kills your blood vessels. In consequence, no blood supply to your vital organs, internal hemorrhaging, blood in your urine, blood in your stools. Oops, I didn't say that. You have a lot of complications up to and including death. A lot of people have to have kidney transplants because of the kidney involvement. I had kidney involvement, but it didn't kill me, and I didn't have to have a transplant because I had good doctors at the University Hospital in Denver, and in fact, all the way down to the regional and the local hospital. And that's what getting well is all about. That and believing in something. I personally think my faith in God got me through. I think the prayers of others got me through. I think that the skills that the doctors and nurses had reflect God's will. Regardless, I'm still here. I always say thank God. Others might say, damn, won't that guy ever disappear? Never shut up. Well, there are places you can go to because you're not going to find too many people who have this disease. The part of Nebraska I live in, I'd be surprised if, well, I know there are at least 2 others. One died, but not from wegginer's Granulomatosis. My doctor kindly reminded me. 2, maybe 3 others, and I've never met one. It's just not that common a disease. In fact, I'm trying to think what the statistics say on that. I think it's 2 in a million that might be diagnosed with it in a year. 30 years ago, it was a death sentence. People would die within 2 years. And it must have been a terrible death, a terrible thing, getting weaker and weaker and having your organs fail one by one. All of the bleeding. With me, I had the sinus problem, and you'd blow these loads of coagulated blood. I suppose it was blood and snot. It was awful, awful, and your urine turns kind of like cocoa brown, and you're weak. It's an interesting disease, but not one you want to have. It's like I told my doctor, how can I have this disease? I can't even pronounce it or write it. And he says, it doesn't work that way. Well, he was joking, and so was I, but that's true. What do you do when you have a long-term disease? This is something. Most of the people I see on YouTube are fairly young. In fact, I feel like I'm kind of out of my place, but then I realize people are as old as they think. My body's at least 61. I know that. That's a physical reality. Mentally, I'm a lot younger. I would like to think I'm in my 30s. That was a good decade. It was when I started to become more aware of the world around me and was less obsessed with me and the world. I came to realize that you'll find out on your own.